President Biden has tested positive for COVID as pressure continues to mount for him to step aside as the Democratic contender. Let's bring in Jodi Schneider, our political news director, who's covering the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. But yeah, Jodi, let's start with the White House. And what do we know about President Biden's condition?
Yeah, we know that he has tested positive for COVID. He wasn't feeling particularly well. He had sort of a cold, what his physician is terming general malaise. And so he tested and did test positive. It appears to be a mild case. He's going to fly back to his beach home in Delaware to self-isolate for a few days or for as long as needed, he says. But of course, what's important about this is that it brings up all these issues of his vitality and his fitness for the job. The disastrous debate performance several weeks ago was blamed by his campaign and then the president himself on lack of sleep when he was traveling to Asia and to Europe, and then basically came back and said he had a cold. It was a cold. And so now when people hear of COVID, they start to wonder, is this the same kind of thing? And it also comes amid calls for more Democrats for him to drop out of the race. Today we heard from Adam Schiff, representative from California, who's running for the Senate, who is an important part of the Democratic Party, and he came out and said that he thinks it's time for the president to exit the race. And then he also went on to say in an interview with the LA Times that he's worried that if the president doesn't exit the race and isn't replaced at the top of the ticket soon, that the House and Senate races will be affected, that it would be very hard for the Democrats to retake the House leadership, the House majority, and maybe would lose the Senate as well. So there's a lot of pressure in the party right now, and also comes as the Republicans are unifying at their national convention here in Milwaukee. President Biden had hoped to do some counter-programming and particularly outreach to Hispanic and Black voters. He was supposed to speak to a major Latino advocacy group today and had to cancel that given this COVID diagnosis.